Hello my friends, hello my besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis, and the intro for this video is low-key lost media, which is why editing me here is here to welcome you. I sincerely do not know what happened to the introduction of this video, but it's very important to me that I refilm it and explain it well so you understand what's happening in this vlog and I don't sound wild while we're going through it. Originally this vlog was going to be me reading Larry Reed's favorite books. I had a select TBR of I think 3 or 4 different books that were specifically recommended by Larry Reed's on her social media, and one of them was The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. However, you're going to see very quickly, I read the first book, fell in love with it, and then started reading the rest of the series. That's all I'm going to say. But I felt like it was important to mention that because in this video, I do make references to the rest of the TBR for my original challenge and the fact that I am completely deviating off course from the original plan for this video. So just know, this video at Once Upon a Time was supposed to be rereading Larry Reed's favorite books, but completely pivoted into me reading the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So that's what you'll be seeing in this video. There are no spoilers at all. I do give my ratings, honest opinions, and I talk vaguely, very vaguely about what I like about the different books and what I like about the series, but I do not go into any specific details about the plots or anything like that, I promise. So if you've read the series, you'll know and you'll get it, but if you haven't read the series, I promise I will not be spoiling a single thing for you in this video. So with that being said, let's go back to me from the past, and I hope you enjoy the video. It is several days later, and look, in my defense, I warned you I was going to be busy during this video. But I have finished the first book in my reading vlog, which was The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Finished this book and I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this. I loved the introduction to this world and these characters, and I can just tell that in the future we're going to dive so much more into the other characters and the depth of this world, which makes me very excited. With that excitement, after finishing this yesterday, I immediately picked up the sequel and I'm 100 pages in. The writing in these books is sincerely addictive. The storylines are very quick and I just eating them up. And part of me feels a little guilty that I am stepping away from the initial TBR plan of this video, but part of me also knows that Larry loves this whole series, so is it really that awful if I just pick up the second book right now? Yeah, but part of me is so conflicted. Part of me is like, what if we just do a whole Naturals reading vlog? I just go buy the book 3 and 4 and we just read that and we just chat about that instead of doing the rest of my TBR, and then part of me is like, no. Girl, read the rest of your TBR and stay on the point of the video. Right, this has derailed a bit. I'm just gonna make the most of it. I know I'm gonna love this book. I know I'm gonna love this whole series. So part of me just really wants to drop everything and just film about it. Part of me also is making eye contact with Archer's voice and Binding 13 on my TBR stack and knows I should try to stick to the plan. So I'm gonna go read more. I'm gonna keep you posted on reading Killer Instinct, and then we'll just go from there if that's okay with you. So bonus book for the video. We're reading Killer Instinct, the second book, the sequel to The Naturals. We are back home now. As you saw, we did a little shopping excursion. I'm gonna give you a haul because I want to, and also update you on what's happening with this video. The very first place we went to is Minnesota. I got 2 things. I got this adorable pom-pom spoon. If you know anything about me, I am a pom-pom Sanrio girly. I thought this would be the cutest spoon to stir my coffee in the morning. Hold on. Look at her. I also got a stuffed animal. I got this yellow bear. It's very clearly pom-pom inspired to me. Like, look at this little hat and tell me it does not look like pom-pom. But it was only $11 and I love pom-pom and I love bears and it was so cute and I just had to. I needed an emotional support buddy. And I'm naming it Bear Pom, like bear pom-pom purrin, because it's pom-pom purrin is a bear. You get it. You get it. Our second stop was Build-A-Bear Workshop. I had a $10 off reward and a gift card, so I wanted to get some of their Valentine's Day pets. I got this little pink frog and this little Valentine's Day kitten. We also went to the Lego store and I got this Bear Love set. My boyfriend is really into Legos and I've started getting really into Legos, especially these like miniature sets that are easy to build. I have this whole collection of them that stand on a little oval base that I think are adorable, and this is the Valentine's Day one, so I had to get it. I'm also an avid collector of the Animal Crossing Lego sets, so I picked up this one. It's brand new and it was only $10. It's so cute, and honestly, if I'm being honest, my boyfriend actually bought it for me because he's the best and I'm so excited to build this tonight. Also got the mail on the way out and I got 2 pieces of book mail. First was my pre-order of Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter. I do have the independently published version of this, but I want to reread it in the new traditional published version since it went from a 3rd POP to 1st, and I know that Lynn mentioned she's flushed out a lot of the side characters and the details. I also sent a copy of Dream Girl Drama by Avon. I didn't even know they were sending me this, and this book is so pretty. It has the most gorgeous, are we focused? No. There we go. It has these gorgeous sprayed edges, and the attention to detail on everything in this book is just beautiful. So I'm very excited to read this since I have officially read my first Tessa Bailey books in the last few months. And the last thing I bought, which is going to dictate the course of this video, is the last two books in the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Going into this video, I completely thought we were going to stick to my original theme, which was reading Larry Reid's favorite books. However, I simply fear that we're actually going to turn this into a full-on Reading the Naturals series reading vlog. I'm sure if you've made this far in the video that I filmed some sort of different introduction to give you the general gist of what this video will be about, since I'll have had hindsight at that point. But I think we're gonna go and continue reading these books with minimal spoilers or no spoilers. I'm going to grab Mr. Bear Palm and the second book, Killer Instinct, and some Legos, and then just chill out on the couch the rest of the night, and I will update you when I update you. It is 11 p.m. I have 70 pages left in the second book, and I want to give a check-in before I finish it. I cannot remember the last time I sat still for so long and just read a book, but I've been sitting on my apartment floor for the past I don't even know how many hours just binging this book. The series is sincerely addictive, and I cannot remember the last time that book characters lived this rent-free in my mind. Every time I put this book down, I immediately begin thinking about these characters again and thinking about this world again, and every time something dramatic happens, I am gasping. Like, I can't even explain to you the amount of times tonight I have read something and gasped and reached to grab my phone so I could text someone about it, because there's so many different plot twists happening throughout the entire book that keeps you guessing and going, and that's the reason why I have read like 200 plus pages today. I can't even remember the last time I read that much in a day. Since being diagnosed with ADHD, I have become so much more aware of my focus and how I focus and how I don't focus and what triggers me to not focus, and I deeply struggle to read for long periods of time without some sort of incentive or goal or timer. And I've been sitting on the floor while my boyfriend's playing video games just reading for hours on end because I cannot get enough of this book series. It is my progress point, and I think started on page like 100 today, so this is how much I've read. I'm loving how this book is diving more into Dean's character, and we're starting to get sprinkles of backstories from all the different characters, and just reference about 30 minutes ago, I was so invested in this book series that I started looking up if there were special editions I could buy, and I actually did find out that there's a special edition of the first book coming out this summer. I couldn't find an announcement anywhere, but I did find this random listing on Amazon about a special edition coming out, and I almost immediately pre-ordered it. I'm not going to lie. I'm very invested in the series. I'm super tired, but it's the weekend, so I'm just going to stay up and read this. Also, TikTok has now officially been banned as I'm filming this, which is something I don't want to think about, so instead I'm just going to read this book series because it's taking up my entire brain, and that's what we're going to go with. I think that's what I'm going to be doing to cope with the world the next few days, you know? I finished the second book. I wandered back to the book corner to talk about it so I don't disturb the boyfriend, and it's almost midnight, and I so deeply in my soul want to start the third book because I'm addicted to this series. However, I know that with how obsessed I'm feeling about these books, that for the sake of my mental health and my well-being, it is not a good idea to keep reading them right now. Instead, I need to play like a little cozy switch game and take a deep breath because I'm getting way too worked up. When I finished the book, I put my face into the pillow I was on and just started screaming because I feel like I'm holding so much anxiety and emotion in my body about these characters because I love them so much. And that sounds a little dramatic, and that's fine. I'm a little dramatic. Part of me is so excited to feel this amount of connection to a series again for the first time in like so long. Part of me knows it's going to be such a hindrance over the next week to be this obsessed with these series because they're going to take me forever. As I was reading out there, my boyfriend and I were even talking about how I never sit and read for this long. This is so abnormal for me to be this just obsessed with a series, and I just cannot stop. The next book has like 400 pages and the last book has over 500 pages, and I have too much going on in my life to drop everything to read them. I have a job, I have responsibilities, I have videos to edit. I feel like I'm just simply in processing from that book. Oh, if I did not say, I am giving Killer Instinct 5 stars. There are lots of things about this book that I've previously already mentioned that I loved more than the first book that really made this book better for me. I feel like since we're at this point with the second book, I care so much more about the characters. I'm much more invested in their lives. The mystery is really well crafted. I feel like I never know what's going on with the story. I'm here for the wild ride, and it is a wild ride, and I'm eating it up, and I'm gooped, and I'm gagged, and I'm gasping. The amount of times I was sitting on the floor just gasping at all these plot twists. I feel so much stress in my body that I need to like take a break. I need to calm down for the night and then pick up the next book tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be able to function if I try to pick up a book to break up the series because all I want to do is read the series. So I'm gonna take it easy for tonight, and I think I'm not going to let myself read before like noon tomorrow. That's my rule. I have too much stuff to do tomorrow to start reading before noon. I'm gonna snuggle Bear Palm, and I'm gonna take some deep breaths. I'm gonna drink some water. I'm gonna pet my cats. and I'm gonna be okay. It probably doesn't help that I also finished this book at midnight when I'm usually a bed by 10 p.m. type girl. I'll see you in the morning when I am a little more put together. Well, not the morning. No, I'll see you tomorrow afternoon because I'm not allowed to read in the morning, okay? Okay, that sounds good. Good team, yeah. I survived the next day and I can't even begin to explain how happy I am to be here right now. I have all my essentials and it's finally time to start reading All In. I'm so dramatic. I'm like, it's finally time to start reading this book as if I didn't finish the other book last night after midnight. I have water and a snack. These are from Target. It's like a banana chocolate chip granola bar. Immaculate. I have Bear Palm. I have been absolutely taking all my anxiety out on this little creature recently, so I've been dragging him around the apartment with me, which means he's going to be in today's vlog, 100%. And then of course, All In. Something I love doing is matching my bookmarks to the cover of my book. So since this one is yellow, I'm matching it with this pom-pom bookmark I made. Excuse me? There's a post-it. I'm sorry, this is what? There's a post-it note in this book that says Team Dean or Team Michael. That does not look like my boyfriend's handwriting. That's not my boyfriend's handwriting. Are you shitting me? Hold on. I'm sorry, I'm so gooped and gagged right now. So I picked this up off the shelf at Barnes & Noble the other day. Didn't look at it, made sure it wasn't like damaged on the outside, but I didn't open it. Someone left a post-it note in it that says Team Dean or Team Michael. There's no other post-it notes in the whole book. Shut up. Shut up. He just texted me back. I said, this wasn't you, right? And he said, that was not me. Excuse me? Okay, I went and checked. The next book has none in it. This is brand new, so I don't think it's in there from it being returned. I think someone must have gone to Barnes & Noble and left this note in the book, which, fair enough. Personally, to answer this post-it note person, I am Team Dean, so I'm so baffled about this. I just finished my first 1 hour reading session of All In, and I made it 78 pages into the book, so here are my initial thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the third book in the series. Something I'm enjoying with this book is that the parameters around the natural programs have changed, and again, this reminded me, I'm not going to talk about anything spoilery. I would not consider what I'm saying to be a spoiler. This is stuff that is on the back of the book or is incredibly surface level. I promise, pinky promise, these are things that I would not consider to be spoilers, but I'm really enjoying that this book has introduced a new location and new plot. And as I said with the second book, something about the series I'm really enjoying is that as we keep getting deeper into the story, we're figuring out more about the other main characters that are in this found family naturals group, which I'm really loving. I like that there is so much mystery. There's obviously like the main mysteries that are happening in each individual book. Then there's some overarching mysteries about crimes that have been committed. But there's also mystery about each of the different side characters that we're learning about through the perspective of Cassie. And I really love that. I feel like this story is constantly unraveling different threads in many different directions, which is why it's so effective at keeping you hooked. This book also has those other POVs that happen between the chapters that switch into the second perspective, which it ties into the story so perfectly and keeps me so engaged. I am really enjoying this one so far, and I'm very intrigued on where it will go. I think something that Jennifer Lynn Barnes does really well is she introduces a lot at the beginning of each book, a lot of different characters and ideas and mysteries and locations. But by the end of the book, everything ties up so beautifully that you can just tell she planned it well. Like these books are incredibly well plotted and planned from the beginning to the point where I'm just like baffled. There's even strings from the first book that are pulling around in this book, and it's very interesting to see how the story has been plotted from beginning to end. And the fact that I'm only halfway into the series has me baffled since there's so much going on already. Hi, it's the next day. I am on page 264, which means I only have 100 pages left in the book. I read a bit more yesterday, and then I've also been reading since I finished lunch a couple of hours ago. Currently 2 p.m. and I have a few hours before my boyfriend gets home because we have plans tonight. We're gonna go to his parents' house to watch an OSU football game. And I think there's a slim chance I will be able to finish this before, but if not before, tonight definitely. I have been absolutely hooked on this book still. I feel like the pace has not let up at all. And since today is the last day I have off work for a few more days, I want to really enjoy and savor all this reading time I'm getting before it gets a little harder to read the next few days. But anyways, I just want to give you that update because I think the next time I update you, I might be finished with it. And I didn't want to jump from yesterday till tomorrow, if that makes sense. I will see you when I finish this. Been a few hours. What the fuck? What am I supposed to do now? I have things to do. I cannot read the fourth book right now. I cannot start the fourth book right now. This ending was diabolical. Jennifer Lynn Barnes, this was I'm speaking directly to Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is diabolical. I'm so gooped, I'm so gagged. This woman put so many well-executed plot twists into her books that I could never even dream of seeing them coming. This was so good. This is easily getting a 5-star from me, and I fear I will be thinking about this for the rest of my evening because so much happened. The way that this story is progressing throughout the 4 books, it's so well crafted. And I think that if you take anything away from this video, it's that if you get the first book, you need to have the rest of them on deck. Because I in no way, shape, or form thought I would be here right now reading this book, talking to you about it. But I cannot look away from the train crash that is this series. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to update my Pinterest board. I'm going to message some friends. And I'm going to spend the rest of my evening thinking about how much I want to read Bad Blood instead of being a human being with a social life. Because oh my gosh, this series. It's been a few days, so let's talk about reading updates. Last time we talked, I had just finished All In and was about to start Bad Blood. And since I haven't been vlogging the last few days, I want to fill you in. The last few days, I was totally booked and busy, focusing on spending time with the people I care about and taking care of myself because I really needed that. I'm currently 250 pages into the book, which puts me about the halfway point for the total book. However, something I don't think I mentioned earlier is that this is not only the last book, but it's also a bonus novella. So the actual book is like 380 pages. There we go. And then this last chunk is another 100-page novella called 12. For my initial thoughts, feelings, and opinions on this book, I don't think I'm loving it quite as much as All In or Killer Instinct. I'm not quite as gripped and baffled. I also feel a little more confused by the mystery that's going on. I feel like I'm having a harder time following the Easter eggs and clues that we're getting about the main plot of this book. I do think it's very interesting, but it's a very much a me thing that I'm having a hard time grasping it, which is making it a little less enjoyable. However, overall, I am definitely still very much enjoying it. I think I came down from my high of obsession with the series where I got really, really obsessed for a few days, and now that I like took a step back, I'm not as nonstop thinking about it obsessed, which sounds like a bad thing, but also it's kind of a good thing because I feel like I'm going into this a little more calmly, a little more relaxed. I'm definitely enjoying this one so far, and I'm very interested to see how this last mystery will wrap up. There is so much we're learning about the rest of the cast, like Leah and Michael in this book. We're also getting new characters, new towns, new settings, which I'm really enjoying. I don't know how much more of this I'm going to read tonight, but I'm going to try to finish the actual Bad Blood part of this book in the next few days and then sit down and finish the novella. It's crazy to me that in just over a week I've managed to consume almost this entire series. I can already tell you that this is going to be one of my favorite series of the entire year, and it's only January, February, so it has been far too many days since I've last updated you guys about my experience reading Bad Blood. But I have a very valid reason. It's not a good reason, but it's that my pipes fucking burst. Our pipes burst. Like, a couple of days ago, I got home and my boyfriend was already home dealing with it, but I'm not gonna get into the semantics because there's so much happening. But my pipes burst, and that has just been a big ordeal. We are currently keeping our cats locked in the bedroom, which also means I have not been sleeping very well because I have 2 young rambunctious kittens who have been equal parts playing with us overnight and cuddling with us nonstop. So that is why I haven't been updating you, even though I wanted to. But I am now here, even though it's evening. I know lighting's not great, but stick with me. I'm happy to report I have officially finished Bad Blood. All I have left in this series now is the novella. The novella from what I've seen is about 100 pages, which is this last little bit, and it's called 12. It's listed as a separate book on Goodreads, even though it's only physically bound up in this book. So before I get to 12, which I think I'm gonna try to finish tonight, let me tell you about my thoughts on Bad Blood, still spoiler free. I really enjoyed this. I'm giving this, I think, 4.5 or 5 stars. It's not my favorite in the series. I still think I prefer the middle 2 books, Killer Instinct and All In, compared to the first and last book of the series, but I really enjoyed this. There were a lot of different threads from throughout the entire series that connected in this book that I did not expect. There were different side characters and stuff like that that I just thought were very intricately woven. The series reminds me a lot of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder in the way that there are things from like the very first book that tie all throughout the series all the way till the very end, which is something I love. I love when you can tell that authors took the time to truly plot the whole series out and how the different pieces were going to cut together. Overall, this series is by far worth the hype. Without even going into the novella, that's like bonus content. Like, I'm very excited to get another little glimpse of these characters. This series is worth the hype and then some. The fact that it came out like a decade ago is baffling to me. You can tell when books were written a decade ago, and this series is not giving a decade ago. This series is very undated, which I appreciate. There aren't a lot of pop culture references that date it, and I feel like it's very timeless. It's a great series. I sincerely loved it, and I know that I'm gonna be thinking about these characters forever. Like, truly, I'm gonna be thinking about these characters for a very long time. I'm honestly even giving them a place of honor. I'm giving them their own special individual shelf in my reading corner because I love them so much. And I think after I finish this vlog and after I finish reading the epilogue novella, I might go online and even order some bookmarks and art prints so I can put them up on my wall because I just loved this so much. I'm gonna drink my sweet tea, I'm gonna finish the novella, and then either tonight or tomorrow I'm gonna give you my final thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Hi, hello, it's the next day and I have officially finished the entire Natural series after finishing the novella 12. First, I'm gonna talk about my feelings on the novella. I think I'm gonna end up rating the novella 3 stars. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I really liked that we got to see glimpses into the characters' lives after the events of Bad Blood. There were also some new characters introduced who I really enjoyed, but overall I didn't love it nearly as much as any of the books. I felt like the mystery aspect was very rushed and fast-paced, and obviously since it is a novella and it's only 100 pages, it's going to be a lot quicker and lack some of the depth and nuance the books have. But that's still how I feel, so that's what we're saying. I'm almost in shock that I've binged this entire series so quickly because they hold such a special place in my heart. The past week, I have stayed up till midnight every night scrolling on Pinterest and TikTok looking at edits and aesthetics for these characters and just thinking about them. They truly have been living rent-free in my mind in a way that I know is going to go on for years. And I know that at the end of this year, I'm going to look back and look at this time of my life where I read all these books with such love and fondness. I will say, I saw another YouTuber say this, and I'm going to say it too, and that was Ali. I always forget what her username is, but Ali mentioned after reading Bad Blood how much she would love for Jennifer Lynn Barnes to continue writing novellas in this universe every year, watching the characters grow up and progress. And I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I also looked up if this was going to be turned into a TV show or movie because I think that this could be a very, very cool TV show, and it looked like many years ago it was actually auctioned for production, but nothing ever happened from it. So I'm going to keep quietly manifesting that this might turn into a TV show one day because I feel like this could truly be a phenomenal TV show. I'm just so happy that I picked this series up. It truly just... This is one of my all-time favorite series and I cannot recommend it more. If you stuck around to the end, you probably obviously have not seen me yap about the series nonstop, so thank you for that. But if you made it to the end of this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will definitely be posting more about this series on my Instagram and my TikTok, which are both linked down below. And I cannot wait to see that special edition I mentioned much earlier in the video of the first book. So I guess we will both just keep keeping our eyes out for that. What a journey this has been together. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week, okay? I appreciate you. Bye.